Hello everyone and welcome to this full moon live broadcast. In the majority of the world, tomorrow we are going to have the full moon in Leo. In other parts of the world it will be the 29th of January. But what we are really interested here is in focusing the energy that lunation is going to create and in our life and trigger the shift of consciousness that is going to trigger within ourselves and in our relationship with the world. This lunation is going to happen, as I said, on the 28th of January. 28th in esoteric numerology is associated to the one, it's called the one who dares wins. It is an energy that is definitely pushing to 20 is the number of gestation and 8 is the number of alignment. So it's definitely pushing us to go through a very, very deep alignment, because the 28 is a 10 and a 10 is a 1, so it's pushing us towards a new beginning. We are actually in a great period of transition, and from the cosmic point of view, we are not really at the beginning of the year, because we had the beginning of what we call the year in the Gregorian calendar, but the zodiacal year has not come to an end yet. So before we're going to do that, we still have 4 moons to go, including the one that we're going to have tomorrow. So there are still some changes happening. These changes require a big preparation, and the one that we are asked to do at the time of this lunation, it is really an important one, because everything starts with ourselves. Everything starts with who we truly are. And deeply are, and that is the main point of this lunation, because Leo is a very important sign in the Kabbalistic tradition. Leo is associated to the tarot card 11, which is the strength. In fact, also the image of that tarot card that depicts a woman holding the mouth of a lion, she's trying to tame the lion, and the woman is the soul and the lion is the personality. So in the Aura-Soma system, number 11 is associated to a specific bottle, which also relates somehow to Leo. It is because from the tarot point of view. And the name of this bottle, which is Chain of Flower, talks about something very deep that is really very, very connected with the theme, the main theme of this lunation. The affirmation of that bottle is I love myself the way I am. And here I go a bit deeper with that, because in order also to understand the kind of step, the kind of dare to win that we have to work for within our being. Leo is a star sign that we know is the lion in the jungle, the king of the forest. But it's much deeper than that, because in the astrology, it is esoteric astrology. It is associated to what we love. Is the realization, exteriorization of our true will, and which is the will of the soul. And our soul is love. So this reflects, is manifested into our life as something different again, because it is reflected by what we love, which is our relationship, love relationships, our children, our hobbies, everything that helps us express ourselves the way we truly are. So the point is that we are asked to go through a big shift, because whatever we do in life and we do and we love comes from our heart. You know, our heart represents the sovereign of all organs. It is really the organ, you know, the organ that controls everything happening in our body. So what this means is also whatever we feel in our heart, whatever we feed through our heart, from our heart, really is going to have manifest something very different than what we manifested before. Because Leo is a yellow star sign, and then it also related to the process of individuation. You know, who am I? The way I express myself. And the way I express myself is exactly what I love. So at the time of this lunation, we are asked to shift the way we do what we do, because normally, from the traditional point of view, Leo as a star sign stands, you know, the lion stands in the middle of the crown, and everybody looks at them, you know, because of what they symbolically represent. And we normally find and feel our power really on the fact that others, you know, through the fact that others look at us. We are who we are within ourselves because of the way we look, because of what the influence and the impact that we have in the world. And we fight for that, you know. In the traditional astrology, they call it, you know, the roar of the lion. We really need to be seen. Here, something else is going to happen, because unless we truly become conscious, and Yellow and Leo are about self-consciousness of who we truly are, then we can't do anything. This moon, which is going to happen in Leo, opposite, you know, that when we have a full moon, the moon is opposite the sun in Aquarius, is really asking us to focus on where does our idea about ourselves comes from. Because, you know, this lunation, at the time of this lunation, we will have a T-square. And a T-square between the sun and the moon, opposite to each other, and the Mars and Uranus creating in a squaring both the sun and the moon. This is a very intense energy, because it means, you know, I am between two opposites, the way I was and the way I'm asked to go. And then Uranus is a planet that is called the voice of God, or the mind of God, which is, you know, Uranus rules electromagnetic energy, so revolution, changes, sudden changes. It's going to trigger a lot of things, and Mars, and it's conjunct Mars, so which is traditionally the god of war, creating really chaos, confusion, and sometimes also anger, in order to shift our consciousness. At this point, we are going to ask, whatever happens on the outside, focus within. Where do you want to go now? Who are you deeply? And choose from there. Choose from exactly that point. What do I truly love? Sorry, I've been talking all day, and so it's the end of the day and my voice is nearly going. The Sabian symbol of the moon is early morning dew sparkles as the sunlight floods the field. There is a possibility of some new energy, little dew sparkle, dew drops. We are invited to, we're going to be tested about our strength and our faith in holding on to who we truly are and what we feel we are. The Sabian symbol of the sun is realizing that we have embodied an ideal, and then we are not an ideal. We don't represent an ideal. So is a time for a deep self-reevaluation, because we cannot build our life in the same way we did it before. The new way we're going to do that is through the heart. So we can have the birth of something new only when a new consciousness is born. And when a new consciousness is born, then a new cycles begin. So Leo, which is our self-expression, what we love, who we love, has the aim of eradicating everything that hinders the divine, our divine expression. So bear in mind that Leo is a fire sign, and fire is associated to a process of purification, which is really making something clear, making something bright, making something transparent for a new energy to come through. At the time of this lunation, we're going to have a beautiful grand trine, fire grand trine between Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. In Aries we have Chiron, Leo we have the moon, and in Sagittarius we have Antares, which is a fixed star, which is associated to Archangel Uriel, who has the purpose of dissolving all the limiting thoughts, so that our thoughts can rise up and get closer to God. And Juno, which is the goddess of marriage, in the marriage, marrying who we truly are. So whatever is going to happen, we are asked to really become sensitive to who we are, what we feel, sensitive in the sense perceive who your feeling, your senses, and reorient ourselves towards universality, self-consciousness, and a pointed attitude. So we really need to stop, listen, to ourselves, become really aware of what we feel, deeply feel we want to do in that moment, what we love in that moment, and then start moving. We don't have to sense the environment around us and then move in relation to that. We have really to choose what we want and who we are, and from what we feel, despite the environment, then go ahead. So it's really about really standing in the middle of this confusion, in the middle of this chaos, in our own universe, and watch. Because Uranus, which is really supportive of Leo, is the planet that helps us at this stage become the true observer, the true witness. And then also Neptune, that is in Pisces at this stage, is asking us really, what are you devoted to? Are you devoted to what is outside, on the outer world, or are you devoted to your true self? Do you surrender to what you feel within, or do you keep playing the game? Because your Neptune is about also self-deceit. Because most of the time we look, we don't trust. We don't trust the inner guidance. But here at this stage, at this point, we're really asked to do that. The 28 energy, going back to the one who dares win, is really the energy of having the courage to take a new step. In sacred numerology, 28 is associated to the leading of the Holy Spirit. And Holy Spirit is change, being allow us to be guided by Spirit. Spirit speaks to us through our heart. And then is also composed, we get in the Hebrew letters, we get 28 by adding the letter Kaf, which is 20, which means redemption, and the letter Ket, which means fence, but also means heart. So open the open palm, covering the chamber of the heart. In a way, put your hand on your heart. So 28 is 2 times 14. And 14 is the day, on the 14th day, the night between the 14th and the 15th, the night between the 14th and the 50th day of the month of Abib, at the time of Passover, the Jewish people left Egypt. They were released from Egypt. Every time in the Bible we have the number for 28, and the time when the 28th time a name is mentioned, people are required to do something like leaving, departing, go to do something. So we're really asked to leave, to depart, to go and leave behind. And 28 and 1 is the birth of light. Depart, to change your house, change who you are with something new. 1, the month, represents symbolically the union with God. Who we go, the test is go back to yourself. And then this year, 21, if we look at the 20, like 20 plus 2 and 1 is a 3, 23, is a 23 year, which is death and resurrection. Uplift your mind. In the when you teach the esoteric tarot, if you lie down the tarot cards from 1 to 11, and then under 11 you put 12, and then from 12 back to 1 with the others, which is the last one is 22. You see, you have 2 rows of tarot, and if you add them vertically, you have number 23. So 23 is a very important number because it's really asking us to uplift our mind. The journey in life is a journey that wants to uplift ourselves, uplift our mind, and then wants to lead us to a process of evolution of consciousness. The total amount of the day, which is a 34, is a number that talks about spiritual growth, and is also the number in the sacred numerology means a number of identification. If you really want to enter a new life, a new way, you want to have a new beginning, identify yourself. When you want to enter something new, a new land, you need to give your ID. But your ID must have something written on it. And it cannot be the same thing that was written in the previous ID, our previous life. We want to go into the new. We want to have a new life. Let's start with a big step, which is identifying ourselves. The Sabian symbol, as I said, is a big time of self-reevaluation, because we cannot be who we thought we were before, and we really need to choose ourselves, to choose who we really are by looking at within, by looking at what we deeply love. Love is the key, but love is love yourself the way you are, and then hold on to that love and that new energy. The meridian that rules the sign of Leo is the heart meridian, which represents the consciousness of one's being. It is responsible for our intelligence, it is responsible for our wisdom, and it is responsible for our transformation. And then so when we really are, we live, we have the fire, to be able to live who we truly are, then we can see that from our eyes and our face. The way, you remember when we were children, when we were going to the doctor, how could they, were they checking the health, the way your heart was? By looking at your tongue, because the tongue is strictly related to our heart. When the heart works properly, we are aware, we are centered, we are in acceptance, we are in self-love, and we have joy. When the heart is not aligned, we are in a completely different energy, which are disconnected, anxiety, poor memory. We have, we're feeling undernourished, we feel a sense of loss after change, we feel bitter, and we have mental restlessness, which may affect also our sleep. So we may feel distracted, we don't have the energy, and also the heart is functionally associated with the thymus gland, which is strictly related to our immune system. We are at the big time of, this nation talks about where is our energy. Do you love your mind or do you love your heart? In the Chinese medicine, the heart is the mind energetically. We also have this big tree square with this big grand trine, and we also have a big, I'm going to show you, big grand square here, okay? And also a mystic triangle, this yellow energy. The grand square is between Aldebaran, which is Archangel Michael, and Archangel Michael is pushing, the degree is about opening new territories, following your heart. Vesta, which is the goddess of the inner flame, if we focus on your inner flame, your inner fire, that inner flame will burn away everything you no longer need. And then the Sabian symbol of Vesta is really, do you have the courage to take on the responsibility of the royal office that was given to you in your life? The universe chooses us because of our talents and our gifts. We were chosen for those. So we can't feel unworthy, because if we were chosen, we were chosen exactly for the qualities that we have. So we need to really have the courage to do what our art is asking us to do. And then, this Vesta is at 21 degrees, which is a lot of great protection, which is really supporting that big transformation. The sun is in Aquarius. You feel different? That's fine. There is a difference between each, we are all different, and each of us is very special because the qualities and the skill and the beauty that carries within. The other celestial body related to this big square are Antares. Uriel, as I mentioned, is already involved in the grand trine, and then also this mystic triangle. So it's supporting that listening to the body and listening to our true self, okay, because Antares is dissolving the thoughts that are not necessary. And then also there is Ceres and then Neptune in Pisces, because Ceres is associated to a Sabian symbol that says a prophet carrying tablets of the new law is walking down the slopes of Mount Sinai. So we are asked to put in place a new law in relation to ourselves. And the new law is really about empowering. Do we really want inner stability? Do we really want a new life? We need to develop a new quality of being, and that new quality of being comes from cultivating our watering our inner garden, so who we truly are. So we need to turn inward to allow that to happen. And then Lilith, who is normally is considered the black moon in traditional astrology, not a good aspect. Actually, esoterically, is a very good one, because it closes all the doors and leaves open only one, which is the one who's going to help us go through that big transformation. And that door, in this case, is turn inward, behave in a way. Vicky Wall, the founder of the Aura-Soma system, used to say this: outside in, inside out, which means take everything from the outside within yourself, inside, realize what you really want, and then put it into action. This is the new way. This is what we really ask to go through, because we are offered through this full moon in Leo the opportunity to act in a new way. And in order because we need to fuse with a new energy. If we really want to create that new life, that is the way. So, and we really need to identify ourselves in order to move into the new. So at the time of this new moon, this full moon, take your time to really focus on yourself and act in a different way. You have something to offer to the world, otherwise you wouldn't have been created, because everything in the universe follows the laws of necessity and the laws of economy. Everything that is created has a meaning, a deep meaning, and has a purpose in the whole universe. Trust that purpose, trust yourself, and love yourself as you are. So may your inner light be your guidance, the guidance coming from your heart, from your sensing what is important for you, means also may become the way you create your new life, the life that you're meant to have. Have a lovely evening and a lovely full moon in Leo, and see you soon. Bye bye.